Welcome back to another session of our Extensions 101 webinar series. So in our previous sessions this year, we explored how to build extensions for Zoho projects, Zoho CRM and Zoho books, where we covered topics like connections, widgets, custom functions, webhooks and modal boxes, all within each product's native developer console. Today, we'll be focusing on Zoho Desk and specifically on inter-widget communication. So this is an essential feature when developing complex multi-widget extensions for Zoho Desk. So by the end of this session, you will know how to create modular desk extensions that can exchange information seamlessly across various parts of the desk UI without needing to reload pages or utilize complicated workarounds. So let's get started with today's session. If you have developed extensions for Zoho CRM or Zoho Books, you are probably familiar with their developer consoles. So a UI based environment where you can build and publish extensions directly. However, Zoho Desk uses a widget based model instead of a built-in developer console. So to develop extensions for Zoho Desk, you will use the Zoho Extension Toolkit, also known as ZET CLI. So what does that mean? So you can write and manage your code directly on your local system, and you can use the ZET CLI commands to create, test and bundle your extensions. And the entire extension is structured around one or more widgets, which are essentially HTML and JavaScript applications. So these widgets can be embedded in different UI regions within Zoho Desk and are not just limited to a single view. So this offers a flexibility which allows multiple widgets to operate independently within a single extension. So overall, this model provides a greater flexibility and scalability, particularly when you are building modular component-driven extensions. If this is your first time hearing about the CLI-based extension workflows, you can just refer to our previous recordings, which is already available in the community space, to learn more on the topic ZET CLI. So before we get into the main topic, which is the inter-widget communication, let's take a quick look at where these widgets can actually appear inside Zoho Desk. So unlike Zoho CRM or Zoho Books, Zoho Desk provides provides support for placing multiple widgets in multiple UI regions, which is one of its key differentiators. So in Zoho Desk, widgets can be placed in several UI zones such as right panel, subtab, left tab and more actions. So each of these locations is designed to support specific functionalities, and the exciting part is that you can use multiple widgets within a single extension across these regions. So to help you visualize this better, let's go through each location with a real-time screenshot so you can see how they actually appear in the desk UI. So let's start with the right panel. So this is one of the most commonly used widget locations. So it appears alongside ticket details and provides contextual actions, analytics or integrations without taking your focus away from the ticket itself. So this is ideal for showing real-time third-party applications data or triggering workflows or even displaying additional ticket insights. Next we have Subtab inside the ticket tab. So this location is particularly useful when your widget requires a more detailed layout, such as forms, tabular data or multi-step flows. So since it is placed inside the tickets tab interface, it is perfect for editing records, viewing related modules or even executing complex actions associated within a single widget. So as shown in this particular screenshot, your widget will be appearing inside the ticket view as a new tab, blending naturally with the native UI. Next, let's look at the left panel. So this region appears on the left side of the desk UI and often holds navigation or global overviews. So this location is great for widgets that summarize data or serve as entry points into more complex workflows. So for example, you can use this widget for listing SLA breach tickets or displaying agent workload summaries, or even initiating case lookups or filters. And finally, we have widgets that appear under the More Actions menu. So these are often used to launch pop-up widgets which are ideal for actions that doesn't require a persistent presence in the UI but still need user interaction. So here you can think of actions such as approval pop-ups, escalation triggers, or even dynamic forms. So as you can see in this particular screenshot, the widget pops up in response to a user clicking an action item from the workflow menu, which is a clean, contextual and focused widget. So here is a consolidated overview of all the supported widget locations across the modules in Zoho Desk. So as we seen in this particular screenshot, so Desk platform supports widgets in tickets, contacts, accounts and activities, and even across add ticket forms and more action menus. So each of these module has its own set of widget zones. So some support panels, and while the others support tabs, pop-ups or even action menus. So depending on your use case, you can place widgets as per your use case requirements to enhance your context and utility. So now that we have seen where widgets can be placed, let's address the core challenge that comes with its multi-widget extensions. How do these widgets talk to each other? So this is where the today's topic, that is inter-widget communication, becomes crucial. So what exactly is the inter-widget communication? In simpler terms, it allows two or more widgets within a Zoho Desk extension to send and receive data. So one widget emits a message and the other widgets listen for that message and utilize the shared data as needed. So it is important to note that this communication does not directly trigger user interface actions, and it only enables effective data sharing between widgets, keeping them modular and responsive. So the Zoho Desk facilitates this particular process by using simple event-based APIs. The first one is app.instance.emit, which will send their event data, and the next one is app.instance.on, which will listen to the event and receive the data. So let's just break it down further. So we have two widgets here, widget A and widget B. So each widget is an isolated front-end unit within Zoho Desk. So you can think of widget A as the sender widget and the widget B as the receiver widget. So the sender, which is the widget A, uses this app.instance.emit SDK method to send data to widget B, and the receiver widget, which is widget B, uses the SDK method app.instance.on to receive and process data. So this overall process happening over here is what we called as inter-widget communication. So this pattern is simple yet powerful, and it helps keeping your extension decoupled and scalable. So now just we have seen an overview of what inter-widget communication is. Let's see what are all the methods that are available within Zoho Desk to support this inter-widget communication. So as I said, with respect to inter-widget communication, we will be having two different widgets. One will be the sender and the other one will be the receiver, right? So for a sender widget, it should be capable of getting the receiver widget's identity. So this is the first criteria. It should be knowing the receiver widget's identity. Then it should be capable of sending the data to the receiver widget. And in the same way, for the receiver widget, it should always be active and it should be able to receive and process the data from the sender widget. So these are the main criteria, basic criteria for the widgets, for the different widgets, for us to implement the inter-widget communication. Okay. So so with that, let's see what are all the methods available to achieve this inter-widget communication. First is the app.instance.getWidgets SDK method. So I said that the sender widget should be able to identify the receiver widget's identity, right? So we'll first use this getWidgets SDK method, which will return us the array of widgets available within the extension. So if we have multiple widgets, all the widgets IDs will be returned as an array using this particular SDK method. So from the array of values that is being returned, we will be using this array index value to get the ID of only the widget that we are looking for our implementation. Okay, then now that we will be having the unique widget ID of our desired widget, and with that ID you will be using the next SDK method, which is app.instance.getWidgetInstance, which will get the whole instance of that particular widget. So once we have the widget ID and the whole instance of that particular widget, we will be using the SDK method, that is app.instance.emit, wherein we will be specifying an event, and whenever the event occurs, the data will be sent in the form of JSON format. So with this, so for the first three SDK methods will be used by the sender widget, wherein it will get the widget's identity, and then it will pass the data in a JSON format. Finally, we have the SDK method app.instance.on, which will listen to the event specified in this emit SDK method, and whenever the event occurs, it will receive the data and process it as per our requirements. So these are the SDK methods that are available within Zoho Desk to implement the inter-widget communication feature. Now that we have seen an overview of the inter-widget communication and the SDK methods available for implementing it, let's see a workflow where we have explained a complete flow of how to implement inter-widget communication. So let's take two widgets, widget A and widget B, and let's consider the widget A as the sender and the widget B as the receiver over here. So as I mentioned, first thing is the sender widget will be using the app.instance.getWidgets SDK method to get the array of all the widgets available within the extension. So once we get that particular array, we will be using this array index value to get the widget ID of our desired widget. And once we get the widget ID value, we will save it to a variable, and for here I have provided a name as sibling widget ID. For your implementation, you can use this variable name as per your choice. So with this, we will be having the desired widgets ID, and then as I mentioned, we will be using the second SDK method, which is app.instance getWidgets instant, where we will be passing this variable and we will be getting the whole instance of the desired widget. And finally, once we have the widget ID and its instance, we will be using the app.instance.emit SDK method, wherein we will be specifying an event and pass the data in JSON format. So now the widget B, being a receiver widget, will listen to this particular event using the SDK method app.instance.on SDK. So this will using this method, the widget B will listen to this particular event, and whenever the event occurs, it will receive the data and further process it for the implementation. So on a whole, this is how the inter-widget communication works between widgets in Zoho Desk. Now that we have seen a complete overview of the inter-widget communication, let's take a real-time use case wherein an inter-widget communication can be used, and we'll see how we can implement all these components to achieve that particular use case. So our usage is going to be like we'll have to provide a quick support to the high value customer tickets. So whenever we receive a ticket in Zoho Desk, if at all we want to provide a specialized support or a quick support to high value customers, then that can be achieved using this inter-widget communication. So how this can be achieved? So when we say high value, it relates to a deal, right? And obviously the deal information resides inside Zoho CRM. So whenever a ticket is received in Zoho Desk, based on the email ID associated with that particular ticket, the email ID will be passed to the Zoho CRM, check for the contacts availability, and if at all a contact is available in Zoho CRM, we will check for a deal's availability in Zoho CRM. If in case a deal is available, that deal information has to be brought into Zoho Desk and it should be displayed to the support agents, so that it will be easy for the support agents to check the customer value of each and every customer, so that they can go ahead and provide specialized supports for them. So this is our overall flow of the use case that we have taken today. Okay, so as I mentioned, we'll be having a data within Zoho CRM, and that has to be brought into Zoho Desk, right? So for that, we'll be creating an integration between Zoho CRM and Zoho Desk, wherein we will be fetching the customer deal information from Zoho CRM based on the email ID associated with the particular ticket. And once we have the deal information available, it will be fetched and it is made available within Zoho Desk. So this will be applicable for all the support tickets received within the Zoho Desk. So if at all, based on the deal information, a high value deal is found, the support agents can provide expedited support for that particular customer. So this is the case, and let's see what are all the components required to implement this use case. So I mentioned that we will be handling data between Zoho CRM and Zoho Desk, right? So for that, our first component would be connections, which will actually establish a secure communication between Zoho CRM and Zoho Desk and facilitate a seamless data flow between these two applications. So the first component is going to be connections between Zoho CRM and Zoho Desk. Then I mentioned that for every support ticket, the email ID has to be automatically fetched, should be passed to Zoho CRM, and if at all the deal information is available, it should be brought back to Zoho Desk, right? So this should be happening in background for each and every support ticket. So for that, we are going with a background widget which will run in background and get the deal information for each and every ticket based on the email ID. So now with the background widget, we will be getting the deal information from Zoho CRM, but we'll have to display the deal information somewhere within Zoho Desk, right? So for that, I am going to use the Subtab widget, so that for each and every ticket, the support agents can view the deal information within the Subtab widget easily. So with the background widget, we will be getting the deal information, and the Subtab widget will be displaying the deal information in Zoho Desk. But there should be a communication between these two widgets, right? So whatever the data being fetched has to be grabbed and displayed in Subtab widget. So this particular communication between the widgets can be established using this inter-widget communication. So this is going to be the components required for our implementation. So we'll have a connection between CRM and Desk. We'll have a background widget which will automatically check and get the deal information for each and every ticket, and whatever the deal information being obtained will be displayed in a Subtab widget using the inter-widget communication. So these are all the components required for our implementation. I have provided a pictorial representation for our use case as well. so as I mentioned, we'll be having an integration between Zoho CRM and Zoho Desk, wherein within the Zoho Desk, we will have a background widget which will send the customer email ID to Zoho CRM, and if at all a deal is present in Zoho CRM, that deal information will be brought into Zoho Desk. After that, so the background widget fetch the deals information from Zoho CRM. So once the deal information is available, we'll use the Subtab widget to display the info between deals info to all the support agents. So whatever the data being fetched over here has to be passed on to Subtab widget, and this communication can be established using the Inter-widget communication. So this is a quick pictorial representation of our use case implementation today. So before we get into the actual implementation, I'll just show you a sample output of our implementation today. So as I mentioned, the background widget which runs in background will get the deal information from Zoho CRM, and using a Subtab widget within the ticket view, we will be displaying the deals information to all the support agents. So this is going to be the output for our particular implementation today. So with this, let's get into the use case implementation for our use case. So as we mentioned in our previous sessions, in order to build an extension for any of the Zoho product, we should be using the Sigma platform. So I'll just get into the Sigma platform now. Over here, you can build an extension for any of the Zoho product. So in order to create a new extension, we need to click on the button New Extension over here, provide a name and a description for the extension, and you can go ahead and choose the service over here. So since it is going to be the service Zoho Desk, when I choose the service as Zoho Desk, it is asking us to upload a zip file over here. So I mentioned that Zoho Desk follows the ZET CLI approach, right? So with the within the ZET CLI, whatever the implementation that we require for an extension can be added as part of a widget project, and that widget project has to be bundled as a zip file and uploaded over here. So this is how we can build an extension for Zoho Desk. I have followed the same approach, and I have created an extension for our use case already. So this is the extension that I have built. So now let's get into each and every component required for our use case implementation. So if you remember, the first component required for our implementation is connection between Zoho CRM and Zoho Desk, right? So for that, in order to create connections, we'll use this connections section in the left panel. Once we get into that, here you could see that you can create connections required for your extensions. So if we go ahead and click on create connection button, you could see that there are a list of default services which is already available, and if at all any service that you are looking to create an extension with is already listed over here, you can just go ahead and choose a service over here, and if not, you can create custom services for that particular connection. So for creating connections, we have already created an exhaustive videos explaining how we can create both default connections and custom connections. And if you are new to this process, we request you to go back and refer to those videos. So for now, for my implementation, I have created a connection between Zoho CRM and Zoho Desk. So I'll just get into that. So as you can see over here, I have created a connection with all the necessary scopes provided, and I have been provided with the sample code for both for the deluge and JSON over here. So if in case you are going to implement your use case using the deluge script, you can use just copy the samples code and place it wherever the connection requires. And in the same way, we have been provided with a JSON sample code. So in our case, we'll be requiring this JSON sample code. So we'll just copy this and use it as part of our implementation. So with this, the first component, that is the connection, has been created. Next, I'll show you how we can create a project within the ZET CLI. So for that, I'll be getting into my terminal now. And over here, I have already installed my ZET CLI. So I'll just go ahead and provide the command to initiate a project. So the command to initiate the create the project is ZET init. I have some permission issues in my system, so I am including a sudo in front of ZET init. But then the actual command to create a project folder is ZET init. So once we provide the command, it will list all the supported services. Since our service of interest today is Zoho Desk, I'm just choosing with Zoho Desk. And once you choose the service, it will be it is asking us to provide a project name. I'm just going ahead and provide a name over here. And once we provide the name, it is asking us to if we need module support. For us, we don't need a module support, so I'm going with no over here. So as you could see, it has initialized the project creation, and a project folder with the name that we have provided has been successfully created over here. So I'll just get into the folder first. So as you can see, within my systems directory, a project folder with the name that I have provided has been successfully created. So within the folder, you could see that a default set of files and folders have been provided, which is necessary for our implementation. So this is how the ZET CLI environment makes the work of a developer easy, wherein it will be providing all the default set of files and folders by default. So all you have to do is you have to just create the configuration required for our implementation. So of the files and folders available over here, the main file is plugin.manifest. So I'll just open that. So this is the plugin manifest.json file that I have created for our use case implementation. So as part of this particular plugin manifest file, I mentioned while discussing about the connections, I mentioned that we will be provided with a sample JSON for the particular connection that has to be used as part of our implementation, right? So that particular connection have been placed within the Zoho authorization over here. So whatever the JSON sample code I have copied from there, I have pasted it as part of this plugin manifest file. Okay. Then in our implementation, we have two different widgets, right? So one is the background widget and the other one is a Subtab widget. So the locations, the whatever the widgets we want to implement, those locations has to be configured as part of this widget parameter over here. So since we require a Subtab widget and a background widget, I have provided the locations of those widgets as part of this plugin manifest file. And along with this, we have something called whitelisted domains. So if at all, as part of your implementation, you are calling any third-party URLs or any API URLs, so the base URL has to be whitelisted over here, so that the extension will provide a seamless access to these URLs without any hindrance. So these are the basic configurations that we require for our implementation today. I have created a connection and added it as part of the plugin manifest file. I have defined the widget locations over here, and I have whitelisted the domains that I will be using as part of our implementation. So with this, the plugin manifest configuration is ready. So let me just go back to the project folder now. So once the plugin manifest is configured, then we have something called app folder. So this folder is where you will actually include all your implementation files like the CSS file, JS file, or the or even the HTML files. Okay, so the files will be provided by default. You can just get into the file, implement your your logics, and just save it as a file and as a save it over here. So I'll just get into the my extensions implementation. So if you could see in the app folder, I have created two different HTML files, one for my background widget and the other one for my Subtab widget. So let's just get into each of these HTML files and see how I have implemented our use case today. So first I'll get into the HTML file. So once we get into the Subtab HTML file, you could see that I have provided the onload SDK method, which is mandatory for each and every widget that you build for Zoho Desk. So this will actually initiate the widget as per our requirements. Okay, then if you could see that I have provided the app.instance get widgets SDK method. So as per our case, first a support agent will be accessing the support Subtab widget, and whenever the Subtab widget is being accessed, the background widget has to be triggered and the deal information has to be fetched, right? So here the Subtab is going to be the sender. So we have seen that for a sender widget, it should be using three different SDK methods. The first one is the get widgets SDK method, which will fetch all the array of widgets available in the extension. So it will return the widgets that is available as part of this extension. Once we get the array of widgets using the array index value, I'll be getting the ID of widget ID of our desired widget and stored it in the variable sibling widget ID. So with this, we have obtained the desired widgets ID, and again I have used the get widget instance SDK method and pass this variable as part of the SDK, so that I'll be getting the whole instance of the particular widget of interest. Here it is going to be the background widget. So once the background widgets details are completely obtained, I'll be using the emit SDK method, wherein I have defined the event test loading. So whenever the support agent loads the Subtab widget, this particular widget has to be triggered, right? So I have defined the event test loading over here, and this will pass the information to the background widget. Okay, so as for this implementation, the Subtab widget is going to be the sender, which will send the information, that is, an agent has accessed the widget. This information will be passed to the background widget. Now the background widget uses the on SDK method, listens to the event that is loading, and then process the information. So what information? So whenever that particular widget is triggered, it has to fetch the email ID associated with the support ticket, right? So I have used the get method of Zoho Desk to get the email ID of the customer associated with that particular support ticket and save it over here. So with that, I'll be getting the email ID using this get method. So once I have the email ID, I have used the request method, wherein I'll be calling the Zoho CRM's contacts API to check if there is a matching record in Zoho CRM for this particular email. Okay, so as part of this request, I have used the connection that we have configured in our plugin manifest file. So this is going to be the first request, which will actually return the contact information if at all it matches the email ID that is being passed. So once we get the contact ID, I have again used the request method. So to get the deal information associated with that particular contact. So if the contact is identified and if at all a deal is available for that particular contact, we are again using a request method to get the deal information of that particular contact. So once we get the deal information, we will be utilizing that deal information and it is sent to the Zoho Desk. So in this part, the subtab is the sender widget which sends the data, that is the event has been the loading event has been triggered, and based on that the background widget responds to it by getting the contact and deal information from Zoho CRM. So now the first part is done, that is the whatever the information that we required to show to the support agents is ready. Now let's see the second part. So once the data is being fetched, it has to be showed in another widget, right? So in this case, in this scenario, the background widget becomes the sender widget now because it has the data which has to be passed to the subtab widget. So now I have used the sender widgets approach, wherein I have again used the get widgets SDK method to get the array of widgets, and I have fetched the desired widgets ID, and I have used the get widget instance SDK method to get the whole instance of a widget which is going to be the subtab widget over here. And once I have the widget information, I'll be using the emit SDK method and define the event as data transfer over here. Okay, so with this, an event has been defined and the data, that is the deal data which has to be passed to the subtab widget is ready. So this is the sender widget over here. Now the receiver is this subtab widget, right? Because this is going to be receiving the data and show it to the support agents. So for that, I am getting into my subtab widget, and as you can see over here, I have used the on SDK method which listens to the data transfer event, and whenever the event occurs, whatever the deal information that is being available will be fetched over here, and I'll be taking only the extracting only the required deal information which has to be shown to the support agent. So with this, I'll be showing the deal information to all the support agents. So this is how we have implemented our use case today. So if you could see over here, both the widgets, that is the background widget and subtab widgets, act as sender widget at some point of time and receiver widget at some point of time. So I have configured the sender widget configuration and the receiving widget configuration for both the widgets as part of our as required for our implementation. So along with the SDK methods, that is the required for the implementation, we have seen something like request methods, right? So here you could see that I am using the request method to get the contact information from Zoho CRM. So in order to pass this request, I'll be using the connection that we have configured. And if you could see the URL of this particular request, there is a base URL called Zoho APIs.crm, right? So this particular URL is what I have whitelisted in my plugin manifest file. And in the same way, I have used another request method wherein I'll be calling the same URL and I'll be using the same connection that I have created for this extension. So this is how I have implemented our use case today. I mentioned that the project folder will be created wherein all our implementations has to be handled, right? So that part is completed now. I have completed all my implementations as required for our use case. So once we you know provide all the implementations, or when and where we provide our implementations, we can use the command ZRun, which will provide a sandbox environment to test your widgets then and there. So you can use the command ZRun to test your widgets before you actually bundle it and publish it. And once you so this command, that is the ZRun, will helps you execute your implementation in the sandbox environment at each and every step. So you can use this command multiple times to check whatever the implementations that you you're gonna implement in your extension then and there. And once you test your extensions, and once it is ready, you can use the command set validate to validate your implementations. Sorry. So we need to get into the folder first and provide the command set validate. So only after you get this message, that is the validation rules passed successfully, you can go ahead with the command set pack. Sorry, I mentioned that there is an error, right? So I'm just going with the sudo now. So you could see that the project folder has been bundled, and we have been provided with the zip file over here. So this zip file is what we have to be uploaded while creating an extension for Zoho Desk. So I'll just get into the project directory, and you could see that along with the default set of files and folders that we had already, we have a new folder called dist, and within this folder we have a zip file created for our extension. So I'll just get into the Sigma now. So when you create an extension for Zoho Desk, that zip file that we obtained as part of the zpack command has to be uploaded over here. And once you agree to the terms and conditions and click on create, your extension will be created and will be and from there you can go ahead and publish your extension. So once you publish the extension, you will be provided with the installation URL, as you can see over here. So you can just go ahead and copy this URL and paste it in the in a browser to go ahead and install your extension. So as you can see, I have installed the extension already within my Zoho Desk account. So now let's see if this extension meets our use case. Okay. So as per our case, whenever a ticket has been received and the support agent gets into the ticket, the widget has to trigger and get the deal information from Zoho CRM, right? So let's first check if this particular contact is available in Zoho CRM. So I'll just get into Zoho CRM and get into the deals over there. So here you could see that in the same contact name, I have a deal associated to this particular contact. So now we have the deal ready. So once I get into the ticket, and we mentioned that we have a Subtab widget, right? In the Subtab widget, if I access the extension, you can see that the deal information has been automatically fetched and populated over here. So this is how the support agent can have the deal information checked from the ticket view itself. So this so like this, you can create extensions based on your requirements, which will actually simplify your day-to-day activities and have integrations between any applications to provide seamless data transfer. And that's the end of our session.